You have to be willing to risk to lose your children. You have to be willing to risk to have your kids taken or your family traumatized if you want to be a foster provider in Wabasha County.
Former Wabasha County foster parents are telling their stories of how they believe social services is jeopardizing the safety of children and families. However, the county says it's working to add more resources to better support foster parents, and social services says it's facing a lack of available funding like many other child welfare agencies across the state. KIMT News 3's Brandon Cote joins us now live in studio after talking with 3 different parents. Brandon, why are they speaking out now?
Well, Kimmy, they are speaking out now because they believe Wabasha County is continuing to endanger foster kids and families willing to take them into their homes. The parents tell me they are speaking anonymously because they are afraid of how social services will retaliate against them, just like they claim has happened in the past.
We're taking kids and ripping them out of the community because you are making people in the community so scared to take them in their homes. Because if they do anything that upsets you, they all of a sudden become targets.
And that's what this foster parent says happened to her after welcoming a teenage girl with a history of self-harming into her home.
But I told them I didn't have the ability to monitor her 24/7.
She says one night the foster child was arrested for trespassing.
She had gone into a trauma response because cops, they had never been a good part of her.
She says police advised her to contact the county attorney's office about the charges against the 14-year-old. She then says social services manager Kayla Hall contacted her about removing the child from her care.
She goes, we didn't know why you were contacting the county attorney's office. And then she made a statement of, we don't go after our police officers. They're there to protect us. And I said I wasn't planning on going after the police officers. I was simply trying to make sure that nothing ended up on her record.
Following the call, she says she came home to find social workers and police officers inside.
I can't honestly tell you how traumatizing that made me feel like I was some kind of perpetrator.
They were there to send the 14-year-old to another home.
What did you see when you entered the bedroom?
Her sitting on her bed crying, saying she was going to run away and that she wasn't going to the new foster, like wherever they're going to take her.
Another previous foster parent says social services asked her to take in a young person as an emergency placement, knowing she did not have any more room.
There's such a shortage of foster parents, and it's no real surprise why.
After finding out her grandma was dying during the weekend she accepted the child, she says the county decided to give her less than a day's notice to prepare for an in-home inspection, fully knowing her circumstances.
I've never had this before for any of the other children that I've had in my house. And I think I've had over 40 children through the years.
All while mourning the expected loss of her grandmother.
I knew that I would get dinged because I didn't technically have a room for this child.
Yeah.
So I just felt like they were out to get me for some reason for something, and I just couldn't figure out what it was.
She suspended her license immediately.
You're just constantly doing what they want, when they want, how they want. And it's just, I'm not going to live that way.
The last foster parent says it all started when a social worker left her with a baby and a toddler on a same day's notice.
One diaper, no clothes, no formula, no nothing, spelt the children's name wrong on the form that she had me sign, and was in and out of my house within 10 minutes.
This foster parent decided to voice her concerns through an email to Wabasha County Social Services Manager.
It was the following week that I got a call about them having an open investigation on me.
So you think an open investigation began because
I reached out to Kayla and I felt that I was respectful, but I questioned her.
She tells me the county accused her of not meeting her biological teenage daughter's safety needs after she was sexually assaulted twice.
Why does the county care so much about the daughter? Because of her being assaulted? Is that why they intervened and they were worried about the safety of herself and others? Is that fair to say?
They were worried that I was not providing her safety and that I was allowing these assaults to happen.
The foster mom says she took the necessary steps of protecting her daughter by installing a security system at their house to prevent the teenager from sneaking out, and also by sending her to therapy.
I had resources in place to work through everything that was happening.
But she says the county went against the doctor's opinion and issued a protective supervision order on her child.
We're here to help support families, reunify families, ensure that families can stay together. And Wabasha County does the exact opposite.
The Wabasha County Social Services Director shared a statement with me in part, quote, "We would like to sincerely thank and recognize our foster parents as well as our social workers for the work they do to help ensure the safety and well-being of our children and families. Wabasha County has faced significant challenges balancing high-need, complex placements with a lack of available options statewide."
And we do know Wabasha County says it has put several resources in place over the last few years to provide more help to foster parents. These include adding children's therapeutic services and supports, mobile crisis services, and intensive in-home therapy services. Additionally, Social Services says it has approved county-level financial support, like covering the full cost of child care and supplies needed for emergency foster care placements.